How are you, my friends? This is another pre-calculus challenging question about inverse function. Given the function f of x minus square root of 4 minus x squared for x between 0 and 2 closed interval. Let's find the inverse, and this is a multiple choice question. You can read the choices A, B, C, D, and E. So please try it first, and then you can choose the correct answer. Now, to start, we have to mention that the given function must be one-to-one, because only one-to-one functions, they have inverses. One-to-one means every value in the domain has exactly one different image. So every x has one different y. Let's look at the graph of this function without the condition. So put here f of x as y equals minus square root of 4 minus x squared. To know the graph of this equation, let's square both sides, then rearrange the equation. So we can square both sides like this. We have y squared. This minus will disappear. So we have 4 minus x squared. Bring x squared on the other side, becomes x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Now, this is a complete circle. Without any condition, x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 is a complete circle. The center is 0, 0, and the radius is 2. Now, we know that the complete circle here, this red one, is not a function. That's why we will take now the minus. See the minus here with the square root, 4 minus x squared. We will take the lower half of the circle where y is negative. This is y negative on the graph. F of x is y, and there is a minus here. If there is a plus, then we take the upper half. Let's see on the next slide. We have this function with negative y. Negative y means the function here, f of x, which is y, minus the square root of 4 minus x squared. From the whole circle, we take the lower part, which is half a circle. So this is now a function, but not one-to-one. Function, if you draw a vertical line test, it's a function. When you draw a horizontal line test, it is not a one-to-one. So we look now at the condition given x from 0 to 2. See here, 0 to 2. Now, by the condition, the function becomes like this, 1/4 of a circle. So the domain now, 0 to 2, we call it restricted domain, which is the condition. From 0 to 2 is the domain of the function. Zero to 2, you can see that. And now this is the graph. Now let's find the range of the function, the same function. The range will be from -2 to 0. This will be the domain of the inverse. So closed -2 to closed 0 will be the range of this function. This is the black one. This is the function, one-to-one, and we need to find the inverse. Now we know the domain 0 to 2 closed, given here, see 0 to 2. Domain of the f. The range of this function f from -2 to 0, which will be the domain of the inverse. Now, to find the inverse in this slide, I'm showing you, you have to follow 4 steps, easy steps. Replace f of x by y, interchange x and y, solve for y, put the new y as the inverse. And this is a simple example you can follow. Let's go back to our question. We have this function minus the square root of 4 minus x squared. So this is 1/4 of a circle. We need to find the inverse. We put f of x as y, and then we interchange x and y. So this will be x is equal minus square root of 4 minus y squared. Square both sides, you get x squared is equal 4 minus y squared. Solve for y now. So you bring y squared on this side is equal 4 minus x squared. Take the square root of both sides, we have plus or minus the square root of 4 minus x squared. Now we have to choose either the plus or the minus. We have to check. You can take 1 point on the function f and check that point by interchanging x and y in each one of these proposed inverses, as we did in lecture number 1 of pre-calculus. Also, we have seen the range of the f, which is -2 to 0. This will be the domain of the inverse. So we can write here the condition for this x. Domain of the inverse is the x. Is coming from the range of the function, the original function given, which was -2 to 0. Now, we can choose now the correct inverse. F inverse will be plus the square root of 4 minus x squared. Why? Because the range of the inverse is the domain of the f. Domain of the f from the given 0 to 2. See, 0 to 2 here will be the range of this function. So either we have this function or we have this one. And also the domain of the inverse from -2 to 0. So now we have the black one is the original function, which is 1/4 of a circle. And this red one, this is the inverse. These functions are symmetric with respect to the line y equals x. So now the answer is D. F inverse will be the square root of 4 minus x squared for x between -2 to 0. Why would we have this condition? This is the domain of the inverse. This is the domain of the inverse. It's coming from where? From the range of this function. See, this is the function, that's the range, -2 to 0. It becomes now in the domain, so we have to write the condition x between -2 to 0. If we don't write the condition, this is half a circle here, which is not 1-to-1, so that will not be a correct answer. We have to have the condition on the x. Now, for more questions about inverse functions, you can see pre-calculus old exams questions, inverse functions, or you can see pre-calculus course lecture number 1. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. I hope I can see you in another video with another topic. Thank you guys for listening.